When you got no hope because your stuff is broke, no hopes garage. Hey! Put it, put it, put it, put
Good afternoon, YouTube. How y'all doing today? I got a surprise for y'all. We're not gonna be working on tractors today. So that's surprising, right? I don't know if y'all remember, but I do have other things besides tractors. I have a 55 Chevy in this shop that I've had probably, I don't know, I'd say 9-10 years. That's the first time I've been down on the ground level in probably a year. Had it up in the air on that lift because, you know, just up in the air is out of the way. I can get underneath it and park stuff underneath it, park tractors underneath it. And of course, you've seen my wife's car. We drive it to a few shows around town, out at dinner once in a while. We enjoy it. It's a blast. But what I'm doing with that old car today is I was going to crank it. I put a new fuel system in it over a year ago. AN fittings, new fuel tank, Holly red fuel pump. I'm gonna have to run a temporary wire from the fuel pump, all temporary wires to the battery. So I'm gonna try to start this thing today. I've not heard it run with the exhaust I have on. I got 3-inch Flowmasters on it, the exit in front, the rear end underneath it, kind of what we call a drag style exhaust. And this is, you know, another hobby that I've put on the back burner for too long. So I think I'm gonna start messing with it some in between the tractor videos just to give you all a break from tractors and farming. And I say farming, gardening, because I ain't really got a farm here, but I like to call it a farm, sounds cool. But so without further ado, I'm gonna sit you on my tripod over here and I'm gonna change the header gaskets out because the last time I run this thing, pretty sure they blowed. Just didn't sound very good. It was popping in them, you know, hissing like around the headers. So give me a second. Let me get this thing turned around where I can get y'all set up here. I'll turn that way. There we go. Here we go. Get y'all set up here. But yeah, I'm just gonna be got some of these. I had them for a while, Mr. Gasket, aluminum aluminum header gaskets. What they are, they're kind of thick. They're probably, shooting me, I bet they're less than 3/16, just shy of 3/16 thick, maybe a little less than that. You know, what makes them so cool is they're thick enough that they'll actually compress, and because some of these header flanges are known to warp, especially cheaper headers. And I don't know where these headers came from. I got them from a friend, and they may or may not be cheap headers, I don't know, but they fit the car, so I got them on there. Supposed to be in 55 headers. It's supposed to exit close to inside the frame underneath it where the exhaust won't hang. It hangs. I'm gonna have a speed bump getter when I get it on the road, but I'm gonna put these in, trying to get the old header off now. It's been a pain because this everything's in the way. And I mean everything's in the way. So I may have dropped the car down a little lower. I think that's what I'm gonna do right there. There we go. It's nice having a lift, it really is. So I always told myself if I ever got me a shop, there would be as in guaranteed, to be a lift in it. Especially when I got older, because y'all have heard me say it numerous times, 3 knee surgeries and 2 back surgeries. So I'm never gonna crawl around again. If you see me crawling around, it'll be on knee pads, or if I'm under a car, I'll be on a creeper on my back. And it could be no cold floors, and it could be no on my knees anymore. Never gonna happen again. While I'm doing this, keep being so boring, I'll explain to you about this car a little bit. Bought this car 9 years ago, give or take, and it'll be fun to get out. Lady had it a friend of mine down there lives not far from here. He's an electrician. I ain't gonna say his name because I have to get permission for that stuff. I ain't talked to him lately, so I'm trying to stick with the rules. And he found the car while doing some wiring for the lady, some electrical work, and called me up, said, "Ain't you want an old car?" I says, and we had discussions in the past, but we want an old car to play with. My father-in-law had that 57 behind you, and I wanted one kind of, because I hung out with that family since '94, and we always mess with whole cars, drag strip, racing, and I've always wanted something I can feel like I'm part of the family too. Even though I know it's part of the family, but I never had a car like that. I had a couple of old trucks and stuff, but never an old car like this. So I got that card so I can, me and my father-in-law, we bonded pretty good with it because he went with me to pick the car up. We drug it out this barn. I done jumped ahead again. I find out about the car, and I go look at it, and it's got totes all the way around the car, up to about this high. You couldn't see what car it was. You could see the hood, and you could see the roof and the trunk, but you couldn't tell anything more about the car. So we talked back and forth, and I laid it down. I knew it was a two-door post, I knew that. I talked the lady down to the price I wanted to pay. She agreed. Now we're getting to the part of the story I messed up on. My father-in-law went with me to pick the car up. We had to drag it out with another vehicle because the back brakes were stuck. We got it up far enough to jack it up. I jacked it up, took the drum off. Me and loaded on my trailer with my, loaded on my trailer, yeah. Got it home, I brought it home, and I pedaled on it. The plan was to get it running with what motor that was in it and how it was setting, rusty and all. The floors were eat up, the rockers were eat up, fender had holes in it. But the hard to place parts in these cars, around the windows and doors and drip rail, upper quarters, package tray, windows, all that stuff was great. These cars, when that stuff's bad, car ain't worth nothing. You can spend a lot of money in it to make it worth something, but it's hard to fix parts. Hard to fix part of the car is really what I'm trying to say. So I look at all them parts were good on this car, which made this very fixable. So I brought it home, put a completely new floor pan, thanks to a friend of mine. There again, I should have got permission, but I can't say his name either because that's how it works. You don't throw somebody on, I don't throw somebody on a video until I know for sure I can. Good friend of mine got me a good deal, great deal. I'm gonna talk a great deal on the floor pan. And then I bought a new trunk pan, welded it in, put floor pan in, trunk pan, new rockers, inner rockers. The whole floor from this car, from the gas pedal to the back bumper's new, brand new. So that makes a pretty solid car. All I like now is some work around the corner of the door skins, and I think a couple fender holes, but nothing major. The car's pretty solid other than that. Then I've done, and a lot of the work was done before I got this shop. I was out in the yard doing this. My small shop ain't big enough to put the whole car in and close the door. I had to take the fenders off to close the door. I done the floor pan on 2 sawhorses and a cherry picker, which is sketchy, but it worked. So I got that done, and I brought it in here, and I put the trunk pan in here. And in that time, I've replaced a couple patches on the fenders, and nothing major. I needed some more work on them. You can see right there. I patched this part right here. You can see a seam there. Of course, got to put a little mud on it. That's how these cars are. You don't see a car like this with no mud somewhere. It's impossible. The factory uses it, to skim out the rough edges. I guess some of the imperfections in the bodywork when they build them. Back then they used lead. The newer cars had a little Bondo in them somewhere. So yeah, but it's a pretty solid car. Motor in it is a 355, well, I told you wrong, a 358. It's a 350 bored 40 over, flat top pistons, set of double hump heads. My brother-in-law had these heads and intake, and the cam and everything in. It's a Victor Bowtie Jr. intake, which actually matches these styles of double hump heads. They're ported. The ports match better. They're made for these heads, which is a good combination to have because it's pretty good. And got a big, I got the specs written down in the house, but 575 lift, 112 degree separation, 300, I can't remember what duration was, 262 duration. Yeah, something. That's a pretty hog ass cam. That was in this motor, the top end of this motor, or the top that was in the motor. this top end was on, and I got all that stuff put in my block. Basically, I got another block. I didn't get the block. I just bought the parts he sold me, and now I got very similar to what he had, minus his block, his crank and stuff, and rod and piston. So gonna be a little peppy. It may be a little peppy for the highway. I'm gonna try it. I got a turbo 400 transmission in it with a 3500 B&M whole shot stall. If you notice the theme, I'm staying old school with it. No fuel injection yet, but it's gonna have this typical Holley and Holley 750 carburetor, which is on it now. I think this is a good carburetor. I can't remember. It's been a year to mess with this car. It might be a bad carburetor. I don't remember. I finally put fuel to it. So I'm gonna get it started. It might not be this exact video, but if I don't get it started, I'll tell you when I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna try to get it started on this video. If not, I'll just put the videos together and make it one big video. Because I want to see how good the fuel system. I put together a brand new fuel system. If you see right here, all the AN fittings, AN line, which is something new to me. I've always just used fuel line, rubber hose, whatever. This is all new to me. I'm experimenting on this. I didn't put a regulator on it because the fuel pump that I'm using, the Holley Red, is only good for like 7 to 8 PSI, which is what these carburetors run on anyway. So if I have problems, I can go back and add a fuel regulator. I think I probably got one on the shelf somewhere. Packed away for a couple years. But yeah, I'm gonna keep getting this bolt out. And I about told you everything I wanted to tell you, really. So, like I said in another video not long ago, the title of my channel, No Hope's Garage. Garage meaning whatever's in this garage, or gonna go in this garage or come out of this garage, is gonna be in the video. And these are in the garage. So you're gonna see videos on this car. You're gonna see videos on the Weiss 57 occasionally. Pretty nice car. We take it, I said earlier, to shows and stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with it. The hood's popped. I took the battery out of it and put it in one of the tractors. Because her battery went bad, so I took I took the battery for this car and put in that car, and then took out that car and put it in the tractor. So I can throw it right back in there. A couple minutes, not a big deal. Get it cranked up, cleaned up, and we'll probably carry it to Cars and Coffee here in Shell Oak, or either Smithfield's Cruise In here in a few days. I think it's sometime in March they start back up. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and taking this header off, both headers off. I don't want to bore you with all that, and I'll get right back to you in a second. I'm back, y'all. I had to fiddle with that header bolt, and I forgot that these header gaskets I have actually have notches. If you see right here, they got notches in the end, so I can leave the outside bolts in, which makes it easier. Except for the fact that my car has about that much between the middle collector or middle tube and the steering box. So it makes it very, very tricky to change header gaskets on this side. So I'm gonna try getting here and scrape this old gasket off the block a little bit, try to get, because it's burnt to the block from, there it comes, there's one part of it coming out. I'd say it was burnt too, don't you? And I used the wrong gaskets. It's what came in a kit, an engine kit I had. I knew they wouldn't last long. Don't know why I put them in, but I did. I wasn't thinking. I can get this side out now. Another half, here it comes. Get my fingers on it now. Come on now. Can't get under the car, I can, but now it's falling out from there. That's what you want it to do. Oh, we got something here, got fingers on something here. The gasket's got so hot it's brittle, it's falling apart. Making it hard to get out. It's coming out in pieces, literally pieces. And fell down between the plug and the header, which makes it pretty near impossible to get that out and get a smaller screwdriver. I got a smaller screwdriver so I can get in there and kind of push it in and out the groove. Hey, if y'all are starting to look at the car, not me in front of it. That'll work right there. All right. I think that one fell out. I think that one fell out. Did it? That one fell out now. Depart the bottom. Come on. Come on, here you go. Here you go. I see you. Come on. Oh yeah, I got some. I'll try this here. There it is. The other half, part of the gasket. Put them in the trash. Well, I threw them down there for. Be something to step on, slip on. Be a slip and fall video. All right, make sure everything's out of there. I don't want to shove anything behind again another gasket. I think we're good. Nothing's broken there. We'll find out. This gasket won't go in. We'll know. Be fun to cut myself on video, wouldn't it? And what not do with a knife? Never cut towards you. That's what I did. I might not get these in there. They're pretty thick. Wow. I'm assuming they go with the flat. Will not shrink, deteriorate, or blow out. I'm fixed to find out. Square port. You know what? I might be screwing up here. No, I don't know. There's a little room there. These might cover up my ports a little bit. Went right in. How about that? I'm going to use them. They may stick over in the port a little bit. I don't know. I have to take the header all the way off to check. My exhaust ports have been massaged. I didn't read. Square port, large race square port. So yeah, I guess that's pretty close. I mean, 1.45 to 1.45 width by 1.48. So 1.5 inches basically is the hole. They should work. Well, it says for a V8 265 -400 9055 to 91. So it's going to work. How good is the question, but it's going to work. What I'm worried about is they end up being thick, getting the header bolt started. That one started. That one started. That one's not, because I can't move the header but so much. There it goes, fill in there. I think that one started. I'm gonna leave the alternator off because it's not wired in to run with alternator on it anyway. I'm using a battery, so I'm gonna leave it off because it'll make it easier to put this header on, because the header bracket, the alternator bracket bolts to the header, and it was never a great design. Don't really like it too much. It's the header bracket. I modified this old Mr. Gasket bracket to fit headers, I think. And it's supposed to fit headers, but this header here was a little different built. And I don't know, I better go ahead and put it on there. It's not that much hard to get on there. Problem is, I don't think it's gonna work with these bolts. I think I have longer bolts for these, so I'll just wait on this. Wait on that. Because the thickness of the gasket and thickness of that, well over 1/4 inch. The bolts are real short. So it's just gonna get no alternator for this crank up, for this start up right here. It's gonna be a very good cold start because I don't think I'd started it in probably 3 or 4 months before I put the exhaust on it. And I put the exhaust on it by this time last year. It's gonna be a very cold start up. A 3/8 wrench. I got a normal 3/8 wrench somewhere, a normal one. There's a gear wrench there, got a bigger head on it. Anyway, let's tighten it back down and work on the other side. All right, guys, I got the headers gaskets on, and now I'm going to run some temporary wires from the fuel pump, Holly fuel pump. Just some little connectors here, and I'm gonna run, just a hot and cold wire. I'm gonna run it right down the side of the frame rails where my fuel line is. This is temporary. I got a complete. One of these boxes you see over here, I got a complete wiring harness. I think I see it there, I'm gonna put it up here. Complete wiring harness for this car. So this is all temporary. I just want to crank it. I'm gonna just jump the MSD straight to a battery, hook the charging wire straight to a battery, and the fan wire straight to a battery, and then I'm gonna crank it up on that battery. We're gonna run it. I probably got dirt in my nose, sorry about that, but around my nose. Yeah, let me get to running this wire. Yep, like I said, it's all temporary. I'm gonna come back. Although the wire is a good wire, might leave it long enough I could use this wire, because I'm not sure my harness has a fuel pump wire into it. Oh, that felt great. Put this right here. Has fuel pump wire in there. It should, because as far as 60s car, 70s car, I think it's a modern harness for fuel pumps and power windows and stuff and power antennas, so it might have everything I need without having to worry about the run these wires here. Plenty long enough. We'll shoot that up under here. Try to stay out the way of the exhaust. Not there, just go somewhere else with that in case I am able to leave it for a while. I'll just put it somewhere else. There we go, let's get through there. There we go. Hang that. That'll work. All right, now for the hot wire. I'm kind of enjoying this, people, because I hadn't worked on my car and shoot, a year, at least a year. I did put the caliper on this side not long ago, about a year ago. Could put the caliper on that side because when I stopped on the car, I was actually running the brake lines. And that may be soon, very soon. I gotta get a dry shaft made for it because a turbo 400 transmission in it. Gonna have to have a longer, no shorter, no longer than what I had in it, which means you can take away from a dry shaft pretty easy, but it's pretty hard to add to one and make it look good. So I'd rather not add to one. I'd rather just go buy one or go find one out of a G-body. Anybody knows where a G-body dry shaft is? A stock G-body dry shaft, I think, is within a 1/2 inch. Or about the same I need. It's gotta be 52 and a half as much as 53 at work. So I think a G body is a 53 to 52 and a half dry shaft. So I guess I can find one for Monte Carlo, Buick or something like that. There we go, there's 2 wires. Don't look bad, ink will stay there. If it does, it being wire loom, that'd be a whole different day, whole different plan. Let's see, let me get some crimpers and some fittings or some connectors. Sorry, the shop's in a mess. When I bought this, ordered this shop, I technically undersized it. I had all these big dreams for a man cave, you know, like having TV, pool table. Well, I say pool table, that was long shot. TV, chair, nice area in the corner here I can cook, hang out, and this is what my corner turned into. This is the man cave side of it, and it's not no man cave. It's junk piled onto a workbench that I can't never use because it's got junk piled onto it because I have nowhere to put the junk. Because the way the shop is built, the way I situated on the property, I came in the backside, the end where the V part is at, where you normally would, and to come in the front side, that side of the shop, which would be smarter, that would give me more left to right room between the cars, but I couldn't because the septic tank pad was there. I had to come drive on top of the septic tank pad to come in every time, back up a hill every time. That'd be a pain. So I did it this way because I had to. The property was we got 2 acres here, but the property I wanted to put it on back of the house, behind the house, was limited because of the septic tank pad. I had to go another 100 feet that way in the back, put it up. Probably should have been away from the house a little further. My internet wouldn't pick up. That would kind of be terrible. But anyway, let me crimp these 2 lines together real quick. I got some Stay-Cons big enough. I think I do. Let's dig some more down here. That ain't looking good. What size are them? Let me cut the wire first, see what size it's gonna be. I think that's a 10 gauge, I think that's a 12 gauge wire. I think it is. It's way bigger than what I need, I know that. But I can use it. I like running a bigger wire, especially when you gotta go that far. It's pretty far from the front of the car to the back of the car. It's probably gonna be a voltage drop, not much, but some. That eliminates the voltage drop, a bigger wire. Try to find some bigger Stay-Cons here in my stash. Okay, it ain't happening. All right, I found some Stay-Cons that'll probably work. And let me get in here and hit my head a couple times. You're gonna see that happen, I'm sure. I could set you up over here closer if you want me to. I think I will. I'm gonna set you up over here. Yo, hold on for the ride. It's gonna be a rough one. A little turbulence, watch this. Oh yeah, here we go. Ooh, it's like driving an airplane. Here we go. Look, there I am. Look, there you are. I woke up and look, there he was. All right, that's a little better. At least you can see what I'm doing without being 20 foot away. Let's see, ladies, right here. Where's my strippers again? Strippers, huh? Right. Over here in the junk pile. Well, the wires are already stripped on the pump side because it's a brand new pump. They come pre-stripped. That's lovely. All right. I've not used these yet, y'all, so I don't even know how they work. Don't know where I got them from. That's the red one there. That'll work. These have a pair of just regular old crimpers. You just mash them in a crimp. These here are ratcheting some fancy stuff right here I didn't know how to use. Fix to find out. I'm gonna twist that wire, get a little tighter. It's kind of frayed there at the end. Or this is the wrong size stay-con. It's probably very possible. I better do it. I need blues, I think. I can't get it out. Supposed to go on there. Looks like it's will fit. I got one frayed wire that hold me off. There we go. She's in there now. Pretty good fit. I like that. Do this again now. Black to black, red to red. Can't go wrong there, can you? You can, but common sense says you shouldn't. These crimpers are catchy. I have to bear with me here. I don't know what I'm doing. You hear that a lot with me. Everything I do is a learning experience because I've never done it before. Seems like it lately. All right, that's together. I like these. They're easy to match. The other ones are. They do the ratchet thing, and they lock behind each ratchet, so you really can't. If you let off too soon, it won't loosen up. It'll go on down. That's kind of a good idea, I guess. All right, get this one on there now. Why didn't that first one go that easy? Here we go again. You gotta start it over, I guess. Reset it. I think I missed it. Did I miss it? I don't think I did. Let's see. Missed the metal on that one. Let's crimp beside it to make sure. I know I made that time. Here we go. Nope, I didn't make it, boys, girls. See that come off? I crimped the plastic part, which means it didn't crimp onto the stay-con, or I guess you call these butt connectors. I dig this sucker out of here. Try that one more time. There we go. Let me check that other, make sure I crimped it good, because I didn't give it the pull test. Oh, we're good. It was just that one time. It was I can't say that word. Anomaly? Yeah, that's what it was. Make sure I want the metal this time. There we go. Let me resituate that now. I think I got too much of it going in there. I think that's the problem. It's too long. I put it in there first like a dummy. Shouldn't have done that. I can't get it out. You have to mash them all the way down to reset them. And if you mash them down, it's just going to crimp. What in the world? $15 and 22 gauge. That's probably, you know what? I'm gonna use 12 gauge crimp next time around. Sometimes you just have them days, nothing goes right. Nothing goes right. But today's not one of them days because everything's went right up to this point. So if the rest of the day can go bad, it probably will. I'm gonna crimp it this time, put a 12 gauge crimp on it. And that'll actually probably over crimp it, but it'll be tight. Well, I gotta redo that there now. Try that again, Christopher. Oh, I don't like that at all. You crimp it all. 12. No, that was, maybe a 12 is actually bigger. I need to stay with the other crimp size. I'm gonna give up. Obviously I got the wrong Stay-Cons. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna dig them a Stay-Con stash or butt splice stash, I guess you call it. What do I got here? So I got a blue one anywhere in there? I do got a blue one. I'm glad this is on temporarily, because now I got the right. Now I got the right bullet connector, the blue, which I think was what I should have had to begin with. That's what I should have had to begin with. Yeah, that feels great right there. See how that feels. Yep, that's where I messed up at. I had the wrong one to begin with. So I crimped this on this other side because it's a smaller wire. It's going to be tricky itself. I guess once you start these things, you can't back them off till you finish the crimp. You gotta finish the job. Appears to be holding. To be temporary, it sure is holding. I'm gonna pull the slack out of the wire so it won't look so bad, even though I'm not gonna leave them. I did that above and below the line, so which is a good way. It's actually sticking down below the fuel line, which is not what I wanted, but it'll let me it'll give me an excuse to come out, cut it out, and not try to use that same wire. I know, knowing me, I'll try to use that same wire when I wire the car up. And I shouldn't do that. It's not a good idea. But I'm gonna bring you back down here again. We're gonna do something with this front, cut me enough wire off where I can reach the battery. And I believe this is way enough. Cut it down here so a little more better. All right, people. We now have two wires coming from the Holly fuel pump. I'll put this back here somewhere out of the way for now because I can't put them where it came from because I piled something in the way of it. All right, I'm gonna run these on through here a little closer out of the way of the headers and everything. I'm behind that mount. Sounds good. Well, I thought it would sound good. I can't get behind that mount. Huh, Christopher, I didn't know. Let me try this. Let me go through this. There we go. I'm gonna throw this up in there and let the car down. That ain't gonna work. Let me tie them together first, the way they won't. If I do that, then it'll be a pain. Try and get these wires up through here, I guess. I say it's temporary, so it don't have to be where it's gonna stay. All right, I'm gonna let the car back down now. Notice how I don't walk under the car too far when I'm unlocking it, because I really don't trust these lifts that much. And the fluid's probably cold, so it'll be a minute. "3 hours later." SpongeBob reference. Yeah, I can't decide whether I'm gonna stay on this car or let it go down the road, or I think I'm gonna keep it. I want to keep it, but also want to work on my tractors and everything else, and I ain't got enough shop for everything. So y'all tell me, should I keep the 55, keep working on it, keep poking along till I get it on the road, or should I just get what I can out of it while it's still pretty solid, while it's a pretty solid car? And I don't know. Working on it right now, it sure got me want to keep it, because it's actually making progress. Every time I do something, I'm making progress. I'm in this club called Tri-Fi Mob on Facebook. It's a group, great group. They have a motto, 1-365. Do one thing every day for a year, and just keep repeating another year, whatever. But they're saying the car built itself, because you do one thing every single day. You know, you're knocking one thing off the list of the long list you got to do. So eventually you'll have it all done. So I guess makes good sense. Except that I go one day in 365, which is why it's not finished yet. All right, let me get my wires pulled up here. Oh yeah, that'll reach the battery. Oh shoot, I almost got, it'll reach. I'll put the battery right here anyway. Yeah, that'll reach, just will reach. There we go, there's that set of wires for the fuel pump. There's the wires for the fan, already been ran way back years ago. Here is the, I believe this is the trigger wire for the MSD ignition, power wire for MSD ignition, and the ground for the MSD ignition. Now all I gotta hook up is my handy dandy starter switch right here. So, I don't remember what I did last time to hook it up. My ends are pretty brittle. I ain't sure it's gonna stay on there. Let me run and get a flashlight so I can see you in there. It's probably dead. That's my luck. Oh yeah, that terminal right there. That's where it's gonna go to. Starter trigger terminal. You call it trigger terminal, trigger. Gotta keep it off the headers. Let's go hit the header right there and see what we can do about that. Ain't no way to keep off the headers, is there? It might be. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a trick, because now it's gonna touch the header. Every time I move the wire, I have to just, when it ranks and runs, I have to move it. I'll move it. So it fires up, I'll trigger it this way, because I saw the screw's moving. It goes to the battery. Well, people, I'm gonna run and get a battery. Give me a second. I'm gonna go find a tractor that has a good battery in it, because that's my next step. So be back in a minute. All right, guys, I'm back. I had a few failures. Didn't get it on video because I thought I was videoing, but I wasn't. I turned it over and it fired up, and I turned around and went, sweet, it runs. And then I looked, the camera wasn't even on. But I'm having to bottle feed it with my little handy dandy restaurant bottle into the carburetor, because the fuel pump obviously does not have any, I don't know what's got, it just won't work. I believe it's stuck from being dry so long. I may have to pull it apart, try to spin the motor over on it. I don't know what's going on with it. I guess I'm gonna get it back in the air, take the fuel pump off. It's been sitting on there for a year and hadn't been turned over, so maybe it's just stuck. I know when I took out the box, it was actually it's a holly red, which is good for a stock to mild engine. This is not a little more than stock to mild, but it's for what I was gonna do with it, it was fine. It's only got 7 PSI, I think it is, 7 to 8, so that's all I need, 7 or 8 PSI. But obviously, when I bought it from I think it was eBay, it was an open box deal, which means it was returned, but supposed to work. It was advertised as good working order, like new, open box. So I bought it for a lot less than a new one costs. And that's probably where I went wrong. I probably should have bought a new one or something comparable. It ain't gotta be a Holly, it could be anything. I just bought a Holly because Holly's cool. Anyway, make a long story short, I'm gonna have to cut this video off. I can't do no further until I troubleshoot the pump or get a pump. bottle feeding it. I had it running for a second, and it was running rough. It didn't even really run on its own. It was like short minute it run for a second, only while I poured gas in the carburetor. So the carburetor's probably not working. The accelerator pump's pumping gas into it, but it's not running on its own. It won't pick up and run. And I messed with timing back and forth a few times. So I got to check, make sure I got my timing back in order. And I'll come back to part 2 of can we get the 55 fired up again? Because you think it wouldn't be this hard, but when everything's working against you, I guess it is that hard. So again, like, subscribe, and share. Please tune in again soon because I will come back to this. Anyway, y'all have a good night or good afternoon. Happy Valentine's Day for everybody. I'm gonna carry me and the wife's going out to eat tonight at Paula Dean's in Myrtle Beach. So we're gonna enjoy ourselves. I've starved myself all day so I can load up on some good old Southern Home goodies. Have a good one, y'all. See you next time.